Hi everyone, it's Nancy Damiano for Studio Calico, and we are taking a look at the April kit. It is written in the stars, and when I saw the kit, the first thing it reminded me of, it had a really nice celestial feeling to it, and for some reason it reminded me of Star Wars, and in particular this picture of my son and my nephew in Disneyland in the Star Wars store. And so I decided to base the story and the page on this. Now I'm using scraps because I've made at least, I guess, like 3 or 4 layouts now with the main. And so I'm using bits and pieces of what I have left over. So I have some of the stars. I have that beautiful paper down at the bottom. It looks like these beautiful pastel moons. And I'm going to layer those on a 9x12 piece of paper. The little stars I had used in a previous project, I had punctured holes in them and made sort of like a banner, and then I changed my mind. So in order to cover up those little holes, I decided to use the mini stapler and just go with it. So I kind of repurposed them for this page. So I also have this nice grid paper at the bottom just to break up the white again. And now I'm building layers right under the photo because I want the photo to really pop. And I'm using sort of a gray constellation paper, and then the other one has like blue circles. And I thought they added just enough color. So part of the story is that these boys are so alike. And so I went with sort of a Star Wars word and its clone. I didn't have the O because I had used this alphabet several times, so I used a piece of flair for my O. And now I'm going to sprinkle some of the stars around. So I want the stars to go around the entire page. So I brought one down to the bottom right and not just kept them up at the top. The printing strips I had done previously, and initially I had thought I was going to run them along the bottom, and then the design didn't work out that way, so I'm just trimming them down so they fit in the spot that I do have. And I think they make a nice design element right along the side, the photo on the right side there. Next, I'm going to add some of this washi tape. I love this gray and white washi tape. It looks like confetti was sprinkled all over it. And so I'm going to break up some of that white, where the white pattern paper meets the white cardstock, with a little strip of that. And I like the bold splash of color that it adds right in the center. It sort of divides the top and bottom halves. I'm going to glue my layers down. Once I get my layers down, I try not to move them around too much because it's really hard to get them back exactly where I had them. So I know that I want to tuck up some more layers and some more colors, so I play around with those vellum stars. I love how I had some blue ones from the Documenter kit left over. And so I'm going to leave that one right up there and see how the design works out before I commit to gluing them down. What I do know is that there are not enough layers under that photo. So I took another little piece of pattern paper, little black crosses, and one of the leftover vellum stars, and I'm going to tuck them just under the photo. I like to keep a lot of the emphasis on the photo. So by building those layers, we achieve that. To pop them up a little bit, I use the Scotch foam tape. This is about half of the width of a regular Pop Dot. And I like that so it doesn't pop up so much off the page, but yet, it gives them a little lift from all those layers. I'm going to commit to those strips. I wasn't sure if I was going to scatter them through the stars, but nope, they look perfectly proportioned right in that one spot. And I think they serve almost like little arrows back to the photo. Let's glue down that title of my 2 little clones. They are so at a monkey see, monkey do stage still. I fast forwarded through that a little bit because that gets a little boring. And then I decided let's add some words, some text. I love using quotes on pages. And this one says, "For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream." And it's by Vincent van Gogh. I love that. And that was part of the stamp set, the stamp sub for this month. I'm going to do it in a nice navy blue ink, trying to bring up some of that blue that's way at the bottom of the layout design, trying to bring up some of that blue up to the top. Now that gave me a little punch of color, so I decided to go with only the white vellum stars and the one piece of blue chip board that says Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And that gives me just enough color up there where that teal one was kind of distracting, and when I looked at the layout, all I saw was this teal star. So that's why I replaced it. Let's get all those stars down. The stars sprinkle throughout the layout. If you notice, they start at the right bottom hand corner, then to the left right under the photo, and then up at the top. So that keeps the movement going in the design. Two last little bits of embellishments. I call these the earrings of design. The chipboard tab at the top, and then the black circle right above the words. And that finishes off the page. Give you a close-up look of what it looks like. And that is the April kit from Studio Calico. It's written in the stars. I hope this has given you some ideas, story ideas and design ideas. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.